Good morning. I'm reading a book about World War II, which has fascination for me. The devastation that was wrought and the specific purpose that the German regime had as it marched across Europe. And my own parents being part of that experience firsthand as children. And I remembered a time when my grandparents came to visit us from Europe, and my dad had this record of marching songs. And so he played it for my grandfather. And my grandfather, who's a very mild-mannered man, he just said, "Stop." And he told my dad, he didn't ask him, he told my dad to turn it off. Such painful memories of the marching that took place in their own streets during the war, and what that brought up for him. The scars that he carries, that no one knows he carries, because they're deep lodged within his psyche, in his memory, in his cellular memory. Well, many of us have the same thing, where we have experienced such trauma in our lives, or such painful realities or experiences, that there is a scar that remains. There is something that reminds us of the pain we experienced at that time. And what's so interesting is that anything can spark that pain, right? A touch, a sound, a taste, a smell, and boom, we're right back there where the trauma or the pain took place. Well, we'd say on some level that life just expects us to get on with it. And yet the truth is that the scars we carry shape the way we move forward. They shape our ability to be able to grasp what is real today, or to stay present in the moment in which we are living right now. The important thing to remember as believers is that we are not alone. That the one who loves you deeply is also scarred, has scars that do not go away, that even after the crucifixion, when Jesus appeared to his buddies in the upper room, and Thomas just couldn't quite wrap his head around the fact that his dead friend was standing there in front of him, alive and breathing. And he says those words, right? "Not until I put my finger in the wounds in your hands and my hand in the wound in your side can I believe that it's really you." Those scars remained evident even after the resurrection, never to be extinguished or to grow over or to be closed and healed. Those scars remain vivid and apparent. And so when we walk forward with our own baggage, our own painful baggage that reminds us of things that took place in our lives, we have an empathetic God. We have a divine lover who walks with us through the minefield of our scars and holds us through the whole experience. Some of our scars, some of our traumas are yet to come. God is there as well. God is not just watching what's happening. God is in the middle of it. God stands with us, walks with us, hangs with us. God is present where our pain is present. God's not just happy in a cloud somewhere. The scars that you and I carry are scars that God himself, that God, divine self, has embraced as God's own. And therefore, the loneliness and the pain and the exposure that we often feel when those scars come to light and make us feel vulnerable, we have a God who stands by us, who knows what we feel, who's experienced it, who's walked a mile in our shoes, and continues to remain as near and as close as we will allow. Scars, not always evident from the outside, A good reason to be kind to the people you meet, but just to know we are not alone in our suffering. A God who has also suffered walks with us.